good morning to Trinidad, good morning to the Caribbean, and good morning to the world. And welcome to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I am your host, JW Moore, otherwise known as J Soul. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we welcome you and we wish you blessings throughout your day. Now, I just have something that I wanted to tell you. We are also on Amplia 102. You can check us out there. You can check us out on Facebook, and you can also check us out on YouTube. We are coming to you live from the Tobago Updates studio in Scarborough. This is a wonderful network. I just want to say a hearty good morning to my staff and my crew who are working so hard behind the scenes. Jared, I see you. Aaron, I see you. Anton, thank you so much for working behind the scenes so assiduously, to bring this wonderful show to you. Now, Brunch is our mid-morning show. Some of you are joining us for the first time, I believe. And we are here to really bring you the stories that inspire and empower and inform. That's what we're all about on Brunch. And saying that takes me to the headlines. This is our Good Stuff segment for those of you who are just joining us. Our Good Stuff segment points out really inspiring stories of our nationals who are doing really big things, who are doing positive things and impacting positively in the world. I go to the news day. I saw this column and it just spoke volumes to me. Trinity-born professor Cynthia Sterling Fox on a mission to create nursing scholars. In a rapidly changing world, one Trinity-born nurse living in the US is on a mission to inspire the next generation of nursing professionals to be more purpose-driven. Dr. Cynthia Sterling Fox, assistant professor in the Department of Nursing at Medgar Evers College, MEC Brooklyn, New York, is committed to creating dynamic professionals and scholars. Quite an interesting story there. The article goes on to say that she strives to empower students to make deliberate decisions based on critical thinking skills in optimal healthcare for their future patients. And that is Dr. Cynthia Sterling Fox. This is something that you really need to go read. It's inspiring. It's inspiring for our young people. It's inspiring for the work sector. We have to love what we do as professionals. I take you to The Guardian now. Thriving after SCA results, Nikisha Nelson shares how she coped with her exam results. She says, when the results were released, my slip revealed my fourth choice, and I felt a sting of disappointment deep within. This happened decades ago, but I can effortlessly recall those feelings. There is where my journey started. One that is a testament to the incredible power that lies within each and every one of us. Today, Nikisha Nelson is a force to be reckoned with. She's a mother of three, Safia, 18, Naima, 17, and Nafisa, who is 15, as well as a university graduate with first-class honors, holding a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, a seasoned administrative professional with more than 20 years of experience, passionate about her profession, and motivated to add value to all lives of the people she crosses. We move on to, of course, the Daily Express. And it says, happy like Papi. Now, 36 young musicians graduate from the Roy Cape Music School. This is definitely iconic and something that you guys would really want to check out. It says, music remains a potent deterrent to crime for young minds. says saxophone legend Roy Cape. Cape made that emphatic declaration to the Express 4 days after presenting music literacy certificates to 36 young and budding musicians. Graduating from the Roy Cape Foundation Music School at the Diego Martin Central Community Center last Sunday. This is something that you definitely want to check out. These are so inspiring. It's amazing to see our young people doing really positive things and impacting the world. All right. We are going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you just a bit about who's here today. We have a packed show. So you have this time to go get your snacks ready, your tea, your coffee. For those of you who are just joining us, this first break leads you to get what you need to get before you sit down, relax, and enjoy what we have on Brunch, a taste of Tobago. We'll be right back after this.
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
Back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I want to thank you so much for joining us, for staying with us. You know, we strive to provide you with just an uplifting morning. Sometimes you need something positive in your day. And just in case no one told you you are special today, I am telling you, and look at me, look through your lenses. I am telling you that you are special and that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Which brings me to the next part of our show. I'm introducing really lovely people that are going to be on the Brunch set today. Today is our Health Corner segment. We have our Health Corner, we have DIY Corner, which is one of my favorite segments. We also have our Book Club Corner, and we have our Grassroots segment. Now, our Health Corner, now this is really important, and you guys need to really tune in. This is a call-in segment. You can call in. I'm going to give you the number, 284-6597. I'm going to say it again, 284-6597. We are going to be talking to Mr. Ricardo Warner. He is a medical practitioner here in Tobago. He also is the district health visitor, one of the first male district health visitor. So that's definitely a big deal, and we're going to be talking to him a little bit more about that. We're also going to be talking prostate health. Now, this is so important, okay? My kings, do not be afraid to call in. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what your questions are. This is really dedicated to you and knowing more about your prostate health. DIY is going to be amazing. We have Lamina Woods Oliveri, and she is an artistic designer. She is going to be showing us the intricacies of subliminal printing. I look forward to that. I hope that she's here because we are getting ready. Oh, yeah, I see her coming in her lovely pink ensemble. So I'm waiting for that DIY. Also, our sister is here today. Book club continues with Mrs. Jewel Green George, and she is going to be speaking with Mr. Rodney Piggott, who is the co-founder of Tobago Civil Net, and he is also an accomplished author. So quite a lot of things going on today. For our grassroots segment, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Mariel Armstrong. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Dr. Armstrong is one of those faces that you would see at the maternity ward of Scarborough Hospital, and she has this iconic red shoes that she wears, and you see those feet, walking, strutting down the hall. And she's going to be talking to us about her journey in gynecology and obstetrics, and that is going to be a really, really interesting conversation. So I am going to let you climatize, and I'm going to get ready for my next guest, my first guest, Mr. Ricardo Warner. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with Mr. Warner. Stay tuned.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bon Accord, right in Stobin Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, half-inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
We are back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. And before we went to the break, I would have indicated to you that I'm speaking with, well, he just corrected me actually. I did say medical practitioner, and he was just briefing me on the many levels that go into the medical profession. I have with me a registered nurse, and I'm also privileged and honored to let you know that he is the first male district health visitor. Did I say it correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right. So welcome to Brunch, Mr. Ricardo. I almost said Rodney. I don't know why my mind is saying Rodney right now. Rodney, if you're out there, good morning to you. So I welcome you, Mr. Warner. And, you know, we are going to be speaking about men's health, but most importantly, prostate health. And before we do that, let's get into how you would have gotten involved in nursing. Let's start there, and then we take it and we go. Take it away.
Thank you for having
Mr.
me.
Warner, yes.
And thanks to the team at Tobago Updates.
Mm-hmm.
I must commend you all on this new initiative that you all are doing. I follow you all every morning.
Yeah.
On Facebook. I get my updates, and very good friend. Well, I know of Anton Parks.
Mm-hmm.
I was even told I resemble him. I don't know.
You look like a relative.
you
You
know?
do.
So, how did I get into nursing? It's a strange story. Yeah, my background is accounting. I would have worked in the hotel industry for the more formative period of my life, younger life. And I just decided to take a new challenge, you know, augmented with different experiences life had to offer, you know, and so I got into nursing. The intention was to go further into the medical field and become a doctor. But then I had the choice where I choose between my children or to pursue a career in medicine. And I chose my children because I promised them that I will be there for them in their exams, and I had no other choice.
Wonderful.
Yes. So when I got into nursing, the sky was the limit for me. I'm a guy who loves challenges, and I have a never say die mentality. I believe I could fly, and bet you I'm going to fly.
Definitely.
So I challenged the system. After acquiring knowledge and experience in Trinidad, I never returned to Tobago to practice. And that was by choice. So I then challenged the system and I became the first general nurse trained male district health visitor. Normally to get into district health visiting, one has to do midwifery. So I would have challenged the system and it came out, worked in my favor. And the government actually developed a program recently when they trained the other district health visitors where they were now allowed persons to become district health visitors without that rigid commitment of having to be a midwife first.
So it was a bit more accessible.
Yes, so
Yes.
it was like shattering that ceiling for my fellow nursing
Yes.
colleagues. And as I grow, I, venture out. I am specialized in managing diabetes at the community level. Basically, I have that clear appreciation for the profession and health on a whole, both administratively and from the professional level.
On the hands-on
Hands-on,
level.
yeah.
Because it's so important to have that human aspect. I think we miss that in today's world, and it's so important to continue to have that human aspect, continue to love each other and nurture each other and encourage each other even. And so it's really, really, uplifting that you're here. Don't forget, guys, you can call us 284-6597. You can call us and ask any questions that you may have. So, Ricardo, tell me, men's health. It's vast. It's a really vast topic. So we're going to go into the importance. Let's try it there. The importance of men's health, and then we can branch off to the prostate and all those aligning factors that govern a healthy male.
True.
Per se.
And I love the introduction to that pathway that you want us to go.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when we speak men's health, the first thing that comes to mind is that we start thinking diabetes, hypertension, most famous prostate cancer, because prostate cancer is one of the leading causes of death amongst us males. But I just want to change the thought processes of individuals. That when we speak to men's health really focuses on a holistic approach to man functioning along the lines of physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health, environmental health, and the family.
Yes.
And all the different institutions that impacts the life of a man throughout their lifespan.
Yes.
However, with these things in place, there are hurdles in which men have to navigate throughout their lifespan.
Yes.
And one of it, mainly discussed openly, is prostate cancer, right? However, there are other hurdles that we have to navigate. So we look at stress. And stress could be a number of things. We have financial stress, we have marital problems, we have social, emotional problems. We have even stress that derive from choices that we men make throughout our life. Some of us are not really ready for some of the choices we actually did. For example, parenting.
Yeah.
And a lot of us,
that's up there.
We are tagged as missing dad and deadbeat fathers and all the different negative names. So that in itself is a stress because, we end up in Bacalet. Well, now I think it's Government House Road there by the Chief Secretary office. So we have those stresses that we have to deal with. Then we have what you call the NCDs. So we speak to now a hurdle of ill health. And that we speak to diabetes, hypertension, alcohol abuse, and these things cancers and high cholesterols and liver cirrhosis. Those are along that line. And also coming in there, communicable diseases, which are sexually transmitted diseases, HIV, gonorrhea, syphilis, just to name a few. And then we have very, very, very important that a lot of us tend to ignore. Yes, and if you, in my initiation of this conversation, I would have spoken to a holistic approach, and I made specific mention to mental health. And depression is very, 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 very critical to us men. Over the weekend, we would have had a program at the TRHA where we saw a large number of men, and I would have asked the question, how mentally stable are you as a man? And I gave a scenario of a guy coming and encountering his wife or girlfriend with another guy in a compromising position.
Right.
What would you do? Or I narrate down to you seeing your daughter being abused by another male. What is going to do? And some of the responses were like, well, I see the prison bars, you know.
Oh yeah, they know that for
Especially
sure.
where the child was concerned.
Yes.
So you see there's a different emotional thing, right? So these hurdles that men have to navigate on a daily basis are critical to men's health.
But are we speaking, because in my experience, I have found that some men, I'm not saying all men, some men are not very easily, they don't usually unleash their problems.
Right.
They don't readily do that. And is this something that is cultural? Is this something that is taught? You know, you don't cry, do we tell our young boys they can't cry? You know, things like that are cultural but are really placed in some families. So you have like the mental aspect of men's health is so critical, but yet sometimes it's swept under the rug. Tell us your thoughts on that. How do you speak to that? How do you change that narrative?
It's very interesting because basically we could, if we want to look at it from the scholarly approach, or even put it layman's approach as well, nature, nurture.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And as you said, the culture is also a part of it. And for the layman, is simply this. When you fall down as a guy, they tell you get up and dust it off and go again. The girl falls, it's like, come, let me see. Oh my God. And they start to pamper it. Even in my experience in the community as a district health visitor, when we are immunizing our children, they tell the boys, sit there and take the injection, and the girl child is placed on the lap and she's cuddled and she's promised ice cream and all the nice little trinkets.
Yes,
so
definitely.
You find, or even as peers in school, if a boy acts differently, his fellow colleagues call him sissy or fussy man,
Yes.
So you find men are not really trained to show their emotions. And we have to change that whole concept, that whole thought process, in that we must appreciate a guy if he cries. It's good to cry as a man.
And on that note, we are going to take a break. We are going to continue with the narrative of men's health. We're going to continue mental health, and then we're going to go into prostate health. Take a break. We're going to be right back with more with Ricardo Warner. We'll be right back.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable. Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth. Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
And we are back. We are talking men's health. My esteemed guest, Mr. Ricardo Warner, is giving us some really, really wonderful knowledge. And he's letting us know that men's health, should be seen holistically, and then you chip away at each of the problems which can occur. This is our call-in segment. Please call in, guys. 284-6597 is our number. Let me say that again. 284-6597. We are waiting, we are listening, and we are ready to hear your questions. So, Ricardo, back to you. We were talking mental health, the impact that it has on everything else. Now, I have seen a lot of cases where death is a result of prostate cancer or many factors that may deem as problematic. For the prostate specifically, tell us a bit about prostate health. What should our men, our young men, what should we be doing about to instill that health in our prostate?
Right. First of all, the prostate gland is a unique organ to men. It has a dual function. It functions with the nourishing and protection of the sperm during sexual intercourse. So it acts, with the secretion of fluid or during the process of ejaculation.
Right.
And it also acts as it has a function in urination as well. And this is because of its location, basically. Because the prostate gland is uniquely located within the pelvic area of the man, right? So it's like a almond-shaped little seed, that is strategically located there. And this gland, as you age, some of us men, more the African American males or the African man himself, they actually have these problems. There's this great myth that if you're over-sexual, it can lead to prostate problems. However, it's not been proven really.
Okay.
Right? So, but basically, prostate, normally in the past, you'd have heard it more affecting men above age 60.
All right.
Right? So you'd have heard statements like, you didn't hear John Brown, he gets stoppage of water and these kind of things. Right? So you find persons never used to really look at it. So the prostate gland itself grows as you get older, as I said. Right? It's what we do is to monitor it. So we advise that you start checking from age 40. However, in recent times, science has revealed that even younger men, because we had young persons in their 20s actually, not in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the outer world, actually being diagnosed with prostate cancer. So based on, there are certain things that we look at. So first is about knowing yourself. And when we say know yourself, we looked at getting that family history. So you must be able to identify with persons within your family who would have had prostate problems, your father, your grandfather, uncles, and so on. Taking that into consideration, you know you are at a high risk of developing prostate irregularities. However, it's important to note that not every problem with the prostate is a cancer. So basically, there are three things that can happen to your prostate. So you can have a term that we call BPH, benign prostate hyperplasia, and this is basically when the prostate gland becomes enlarged and it causes restriction of the flow of urine, right? We also have cancer of the prostate, and we have prostatitis, and that's an infection, a bacterial infection of the prostate gland, and that is treated with antibiotics. However, it is one of the hardest ones to diagnose. Yeah? But before we reach the actual diagnosing the prostate, we encourage our men to have it checked. We have different ways or a pathway that we will go to check it. So for those who are backlit, they would have seen we did urinalysis because it tells us something. If there is blood in the urine, it's an indicator to say, well, okay, possible, and your age group, possible, you may be having some prostate irregularities, right? We also do the PSA. Now, the prostate gland itself releases an enzyme called prostaserum assay. And this is what guides us. It is not a thing that says for sure you have a prostate cancer if the levels are high. However, based on science or results, figures that are extremely high, we know, well, okay, yeah, this is too high. This has to be cancer. So we then pass you on to the urologist and the oncology department to do further investigations.
Right, and can it be treated?
Well, cancer on a whole, it can be treated either by surgical removal. So you could have robotic surgery, or you could have a laparoscopic surgery where they remove the prostate gland.
Right.
And there's a new one where we use high intensity. It's like an ultrasonic ray thing that you don't have no incision or anything. They just place it in the area where the prostate gland is, and they use ultrasonic waves to destroy it.
Okay.
So it's an invasive procedure with no bleeding or anything. And one of the positive about it is that less erectile dysfunction occurs with that intervention.
With that process.
Yeah.
But
So-
what about, sorry to cut you, I have so many questions. What about, well, you spoke about the holistic aspect of men's health. Now, my mind goes to diabetes, hypertension, because my father suffered from these ailments. What happens in the body? This is something that I always wondered. What happens in the body? Let's go with diabetes. How does being diabetic affect the prostate?
The prostate?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there isn't no clear link in terms of the comorbidities and prostate cancer.
Okay.
So prostate cancer, we have, like other cancers and other ailments, are aligned with smoking, poor dietary practices, sedentary life, you're not exercising, and as I said, mainly family history, right, and age, gender. So these are things that really don't change. However, persons with diabetes, hypertension, because of the pathway or the pathology of these conditions, right, it will lead to affecting different organs, but not directly causing prostate cancer.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they do have that connection in terms of affecting the systems of the body, but it's not the precursor to causing prostate cancer.
And I know we looked at, you mentioned prosthesis?
Prosthesis. Prosthesis, yes. Sorry.
Prosthesis. Prosthesis. I want to make sure that I pronounce it correctly. Prosthesis. What exactly contributes to that? I know you would have spoken about what exactly it is, but we're going to take a call. We have a caller. Caller, good morning. What's your question? Good morning. Are you there? Okay, so as we were saying, prosthesis. All right. What contributes to that?
Right, as I said, it's a bacterial infection.
Right.
So it could stem from an infection. Sometimes it's confused with a urinary tract infection because of the location. So if you are playing in a drain, possibly you'll get ground itch. And because the prostate gland is uniquely located close to the bladder, so if there is a bladder infection, a bacterial one, it can transmit to the prostate gland itself.
All right, so let's take a call. Caller, you're on air. What's your question? Are you there, caller? Okay, as we were, prosthesis, yes, you were explaining some of the symptoms that would contribute to that.
Yeah. So it's as I said, infection, bacterial infection. So you find out, we'll do a urinalysis and look specifically to the presence of leukocytes and so on.
What just remind our viewers, what were the other two diseases that you just mentioned?
Right. So you have benign prostate hyperplasia, layman terms. A call coming back in.
All right. We have a call. Good morning, caller. We're listening. Are you there?
Yes.
Back to you.
The easing me up, right?
Yes.
Sorry. So yes, so we have, one can be diagnosed with benign prostate hyperplasia, simply meaning not cancerous, but it's just an enlarged prostate gland.
Right, enlarged.
Right? You can have the prosthesis, which is infection of the prostate gland, a bacterial infection to be more specific. And you can have the one that we really don't want to hear, which is cancer. But there are different stages. And it's important to note, this is why we encourage our meals to be tested annually, or allow your medical practitioner, and in our case in Tobago, we have a space for men called the Blue Room.
All right.
Right? And you can come there, get your assessment, and know where you're at. Right? Hopefully we want to move further in actually changing the health-seeking behaviors of our males. So this is where we want to start to introduce testing, or not really testing, sorry, but encourage our young men, maybe from 5th form, to start visiting the medical practitioner annually, so it becomes a norm, you know, because the only way you could prevent these conditions from actually having an impact on your economy is by changing lifestyle practices or health-seeking behaviors.
And is once annually, is that enough time, or should we or males be visiting you more regularly?
Once annually is safe.
Okay.
Especially for the prostate, and then there are other indicators that will guide you. So, for example, there are parameters when you do the blood test, the PSA levels, right? So when you get a value between 0 and 4, which is the normal, we would tell you, well, based on your age, you can come back like every 2 years or so.
Right.
And also taking into consideration your family history. That is critical.
Yes.
Right? There's another test that I didn't speak to, which was the digital rectal examination. This is the one that most men have a phobia about. They don't really want anything going up in the rectum. And then sometimes they look at the doctor who is attending to them. It's like the fingers look like 2, right?
Yes.
So it's like, cool.
All right. So do we have a call? Good morning. Do you have any questions? Are you there? Back to you.
Yes. So the digital rectal examination actually is like giving the physician a clear indication of what is going on there. Right?
And it's more hands-on.
Hands-on. So you're actually feeling, you could palpate this thing. You say, this part feels a little hard, like calcification taking place here, you know, which is not normal because normal soft, pliable tissue. And when you do the digital rectal examination, which is very short, I think the most discomforting part is the thought.
Yeah.
But actually to have it done is a quick procedure. It doesn't even take 10 minutes.
So do you think if it's a female practitioner doing the process, do you think more of our men would come in to get tested?
Well, first I want to sort of clear up another myth. In our space, we tend to say men are poor health seekers. I'm of the opinion that Tobagonian men seek their health because the response we get and even the normal traffic we have flowing through the room shows something different.
And you heard it right here. Let us erase that myth. Yes, our men are seeking after their health. And we are so happy that we had you today. Thank you so much for coming in. There's so much information, but not enough time to get to it. But we want to thank Ricardo for coming in. And before we go to the break, our trivia question. This is a good one. You guys listen to this, all right? In which village in Tobago did the Belmana riot occur? In what village in Tobago did the Belmana riot occur? Get to typing, guys. We're going to take a break and we're going to come right back with DIY Corner. See you soon.
Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
800 TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800 TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero. Champion. Fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800 TIPS. Help stop crime.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Good morning. Put a smile on your
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
And we are back. You guys caught me trying to put my gloves on. This is going to be so interesting. With me, I have Lamina Woods Oliveri. She is the owner of LCA Designs. For those of you who don't know, Lamina has been doing these types of work, painting and printing, for a very long time. And I'm going to let her tell you a bit about her business, and then we're going to get into what we're doing today, all right, which is sublimation printing. So for those of you who don't know what that is, stay with us and we're going to show you. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to put my gloves on. So Lamina, welcome. Welcome to Brunch, a taste of Tobago.
Thank you for having me.
In your lovely pink ensemble. I love it. I saw you walking in and I said, I have to make a comment about this.
Thank you.
All right. So tell us a bit about your business. When did you start LCA Designs?
So LCA Designs was an official registered business in 2011. So this August will mark it 12 years in business. We would have started before, would have been doing some designing while in school, altering certain things just to have a different look, not looking like everybody else, that kind of way.
Right.
And I would have started making clothing for myself. With encouragement from friends and family, I ventured out into business.
All right. And sublimation. I have to make sure that I say it correctly. I was saying something totally different a couple minutes ago. So sublimation printing. Just tell us what that is for viewers who don't know. I certainly don't know, and I would like to know what exactly is sublimation printing.
Right. So the sublimation is an additional product and service that LCA Designs currently offers. Right. The print is embedded into the item. So if you are printing a t-shirt, tumblers, mouse pads, it's a specific surface that you need. Also the printer as well. It must be a sublimation printer. The paper as well. It's a special type printer, special type paper, in order to apply the ink onto the item.
I see.
So this morning we'll be printing 2 tumblers. I'll be doing one, and of course you'll be doing the other.
Yay! Okay. So what does the process entail? Take us through the process.
All right. So with the process, so it must be.
So I have my gloves on. And,
right. So I have here the sublimation blank. So we have 2 sizes here. So this one is the 20 ounce.
All right.
The other here is the 12 ounce.
Okay, just remind us, what do you call it? What do you call this?
Tumblers. So it keeps the hot drinks hot and the cold drinks cold.
All right. Love that already.
Right. Keynote, every time you're about to create your design, you must measure the tumbler in order to have the accurate design for the item.
Okay.
So you measure all the way around and you measure the length of the tumbler as well. So these designs here were already done. So there are different sites or applications you could use to do your designs. And you could also use Microsoft Word, Canva, in order to do the printing of the design. So you must have that exact size.
So those are just a couple of these sites that you can visit for.
And then after you print, you cut off all the excess paper to apply to your blank item. So this one is for the 20 ounce tumbler. And I'll cut this one out as well for the 12 ounce.
Yes. All right, guys, so she's cutting. And this is going to be your applique for your tumblers. I wonder if I could keep one of them tumblers, boy. Let me know what you think.
We'll see.
But this is really, really interesting. I have never heard of the term before. So I was excited to see exactly what this entails.
Right, so the preparation, I'll remove these. The preparation, you must clean the surface of the tumbler first. So I'm using rubbing alcohol. And you mustn't have any form of handprint or anything like that. So I'll put my hand on the inside to make sure I'm not touching the surface.
Okay.
Same for the other.
All right, so don't forget the cleansing process. It's really important, don't forget.
And then this is also why the sizing is important. So it's 2 different tumblers. So you must have the sizing to go with the design. Right, so I'll give you, so you'll do this smaller one.
All right. Yeah, but
so make sure your design is facing up.
Can my hand fit?
Yes, it can, but
Okay.
I could use to take off the glove.
Yeah, so why you let me put on gloves?
You're rather excited.
She
So
had me excited to put on the gloves, and now I had to take off the
so you
gloves.
could go ahead. So this is the excess that will be overlapping. You put it over and wrap it tightly. So I would turn it upside down to make sure that the paper is level. So you can do that
Tightly.
on that side while I'm doing this one. Same here. The design facing upward. And I'm wrapping. And I'll turn it upside down just to make sure that everything is in
It's
place.
tightly fitting.
Right?
Okay, tell us what this is.
So this is...
It's glue, it's disappearing.
Yes, I know that. This is a cup cradle. So you can lean the cup into the cradle like this in order to tape it down.
All right. I do that now.
And I will also use this device, the clamp. So while you are there, I would use this device to clamp. This eases from pulling the paper tight because it needs to be tight.
Yeah.
And you apply your tape. You apply the tape in the middle of the tumbler and on the 2 ends. I just brought additional paper just to see what is done.
I don't even want to let this go.
Right.
I feel like it's like, you know, merchandise. I don't even want to let go. Go ahead.
Right? So you'll tape the center, you'll tape the top and the bottom. Then you will apply a straight strip of tape down the center. And then we'll be taping the top all around and then the bottom all around.
Okay, let me tape. All right, so we're taping now. Just in case you're wondering what's going on, we are getting ready for the next step, which is
sublimation, the
right.
printing aspect as well.
Then we get to the good part, the sublimation. I've been waiting for this.
So I'll preheat the press in the meantime.
All right.
So the tape we use is a heat tape. That's the first tape that we used. The other one will be painter's tape.
Okay.
So I'll strip yours.
All right, so we're waiting for a machine to heat up. And then comes the good part. Yay! Can't wait.
Right, so some
All
instances you may, right, so this, for example, this was too slack.
Okay.
So it must be sturdy in order for it to this one is a little slack as well, but we're gonna get through it.
All right.
Right. Then I'll tape the top.
Okay, so hopefully that holds it.
Yeah,
It's
it will
right.
secure from ghosting at the top and at the bottom.
All right. And there we have a beep.
So it's
We're beeping.
currently preheating.
Yes.
Right.
Do you do you need to do some classes. What do you think?
It's my goal to do such.
Yeah, that should be on the radar. Do some classes. This
Right.
is wonderful.
Because this was really trial and error to get this right. In some instances, for example, this one, this was one of my first. I was sampling, so you do something for yourself.
Right.
And I would have had the ghosting at the bottom. So that extra white. So I've learned along the way. And now I'm actually getting the tumblers without
this is pretty. Yeah.
right, without the ghosting and all of that. Right, and then we just scrape off some of the air.
Right. Then we have another beep.
It's almost done heating up.
Oh, how many beeps?
It's going up to 360.
Oh, and then we know it's
yeah.
hot enough. Okay, so it's almost there.
So I'll try with yours in the meantime while it's heating up.
Yes, please. Oh, so it was too slack. That's what you were indicating.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of these products some of these items we do have available at our store. Our store is located at Canby Junction. Right. We also do have a craft section. The craft section, we have the for sublimation, we have the heat tapes, the cup cradle, the clamp as well.
Right. And how do we contact you, Lamina?
Our contact is 782-3650.
Right. That's 782-3650.
We are also on Facebook and Instagram at LCA Designs Tobago. LCA Designs Tobago is our handmade space.
Okay.
So I do sewing as well. I do clothing, handbags, and accessories. And you'll find those items there. And with regards to the craft corner, it's LCA Designs Craft Corner. You'll find all craft supplies. So we have jewelry making supplies, handbag accessories, keyring, resin supplies as well. So you could have we also sell epoxy resin, silicone molds, glitter, all these different items.
I like that.
Right, so
I have to come to that store.
The reason for the craft corner is that when I was doing the handbags, it was really difficult finding accessories to go with the bags, and I would have to bring them in. So I started bringing them in a larger sum so that other persons doing handbags would have been able to access some of these handbag hardware. So later on, the craft corner grew. It was a little cubicle in the store, and it's now a whole space.
Yeah,
a whole big space.
So I like craft, as you can tell by what I'm wearing. So if I had like a nice, elegant ensemble, and I said, look, I want to go by Lamina, because I don't have any accessories that are going to quite fit this. I want a clutch and I want a earring, and I could come in.
You could come
have that done.
You could have that service provided, and we also have ready to purchase items. So we do have some Ankara accessories,
designs,
handbags, and
I like that store. I have to come to that store.
Right, so the press is now heated up.
All right, here we go.
It had to be heated with a tumbler inside. So I'm taking that out. And I'm putting that on the heat mat, heat resistant mat.
Okay, and you sell these as well?
Not the
heat mats as well?
But we'll be having the tape dispenser this weekend.
Okay.
And I also sell the tumbler blanks as well.
Okay.
So if that you're doing the tumblers, we also do have the blanks as well. So you could go ahead and put on your gloves.
Oh, now I do that. Okay. I was too early the last time, so yeah. So now it's time for the gloves.
Yes.
Okay. You had me excited, so I say, all right, let me get ready. you know, and I put on the gloves one time, but then I realized no.
Yes, there's a process to get all
I
this done.
realized Lamina. I said, well, what Lamina doing me, sir? Lamina have me on scene. Right.
So you could go ahead. So the tumbler is going in for 2 minutes, 1 minute on each side. So you basically mark it with the center mark from the tape. So you put it in on one side.
So you scoot it?
Yeah, you could scoot it in.
All right. So if I do like so, could I do it like so?
Yes. Right, and you could go ahead and bring down the handle.
Press down.
So it's slack because I would have been printing something else yesterday. So we'll adjust the.
All right.
Right, so the timer is currently rolling.
Okay. And where can we find these machines? Do you source them? That's another question I wanted to ask.
I sourced this one. I had to source this one. At the point in time, I was actually using this smaller press. It was more cost efficient. I was able to afford this, but this was part of an 8-in-1 print. So I had the press for the t-shirts. I could have done.
I get
the cost of the 8-in-1 was the cost of this. So I purchased this to start up the sublimation business.
Right.
And then I went and purchased this one.
Okay. But where could one find?
So we open it.
Yeah. Where do we go if we want to do this?
To purchase this,
where do we find
I
something
sourced
like
this on. Personally, I sourced this online. So you roll it around, put the tape on the opposite side, right, and we go again.
Oh, can I keep these? Oh, yeah.
And we
That'd
go
be
again.
nice.
Right. Anything else?
All right. So how long does it take? If you had to estimate, how long would it take to do both sides?
2 minutes.
2 minutes tops.
2 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
So it's 1 minute on each side.
Okay.
So as the 1 minute is up, as you would have heard, the tumbler press would beep. So you'll know when to turn it on the other side or to take it off.
Okay. So coming to customize, so I like to customize things. So I would be visiting.
Sure.
You're gonna give us your social tags again, where we can find you, telephone number, because I know a lot of people are gonna want this service. So we're gonna revisit that again. You're gonna let us know where to find you, etc. And yes, guys, you can get customized pieces.
Can take it out and put it on your mat.
So I'm taking it out now. This one?
Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead.
Do I close the clamp? Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Another one.
Yes.
Sorry.
This one we'll have to adjust it some more because this one is much smaller. So the good thing about this press is that you could press any from 11 ounce up to 30.
So
30
it's
ounce.
adjustable. And that's what you need in this type of business.
Okay, so we go ahead with the
Okay, so it's time for removal of the tape. And Lamina is doing that so nicely and so elegantly. So we're removing the tape and then we are going to see our design. I'm so excited.
Right, so the reason for the glove is that you'll be able to touch it because it's very hot.
Yeah.
I use a weeding tool to take off the tape.
And then you have... Okay, so this is done. And it goes on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Like that? That's good?
Yeah, that's good. All right. So you could go ahead and open this one up.
I asked her if I could keep the gloves. She ain't answer me yet, eh? All you notice, she ain't answer me yet. There it is. There it is. Do you guys see? Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite types of art. It's just like inspirational writing. So it's celebrate my win. I am strong. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Positive vibes only. These are the types of things that I like to see. So if I'm customizing something, it's all positive. Anybody who knows me, you know that it's positive stuff, positive sayings with me. And we have a beep now.
And that's the end of that one. And this here was actually a custom design that I did. So I put some designs together and...
Okay, so this was here?
Yes.
And what is this called again?
A heat mat.
Heat mat, okay.
Right, so you protect your surface from getting burnt.
Okay.
So when you realize with the paper, the ink is, some remain on the paper, yes, but it's not much. So the ink, everything is fused onto the tumbler. So I'll go ahead.
Are we closing this back or it could stay that way?
No, it wouldn't close all the way.
It wouldn't close. Oh yeah.
Right?
You adjust it.
Yes. So I'm taking off the tape.
All right.
You want to weed off this? You want to weed off the tape this time?
I could weed it off. I might not be able to weed it off like you.
So we're hooking it in.
It's kind of coming off with my glove.
All right. Go ahead and open the paper.
All right. So it's open right now. Oh, there's a piece of tape. Ah! And it's... Look. Let me show you. Look. What does that say? Tobago updates. Television. Yes, folks, you saw it right here on Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Let me turn it to my next camera also. All right. Yeah, so we have Lamina doing what she does in really stylish fashion. Just for our viewers, just remind us of where we can find you, telephone, contact, social tags.
Right, so we are located at Canby Junction. It's a big gray building. It's a merger of two businesses actually. Bijou de Mode. We also sell fashionable jewelry, plus size clothing. I do clothing, handbags, and accessories. I can be contacted at 782-3650. Social media, LCA Designs Tobago on Facebook and Instagram for my handmade space. And for the craft supplies would be at LCA Designs Craft Corner on both Facebook and Instagram.
And there you have it. We are... Look, I love DIYs, first of all, because I get to go into just a little bit into the mind of our creatives and what they do. Let me say this again to my kings and my queens. When creatives charge you a price, do not, I repeat, do not query the price or ask for a markdown or reduction or 50% off, and all the things that we tend to do when we're purchasing. All right. So thank you so much, Lamina, for being with us. It was indeed a pleasure. If you're getting classes, I am first in line.
Yes.
Please do not forget me.
I'll reach out to you.
Thank you for coming to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. It was so lovely to have you. I love this. I love you. I can't keep talking about the pink t-shirt. If it could have fit me, you wasn't leaving it right here with me. But thank you so much. And we are going to wrap. We're going to be right back. Our friend Joelle Green George is here, and she is going to be talking book club today with Mr. Rodney Piggott. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Good morning. Welcome back to Brunch, and thank you for tuning in with us today on Book Club Corner. I am Jewel Green, and welcome all the viewers in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. We want to thank you for being here with us. Every Wednesday, we are on Tobago Updates, where we speak to authors and writers about their books, their passions for writing, and their love of the written word. And today we have with us an author, a published author, and an African cultural activist, Mr. Rodney Pigott. And before we, introduce him fully, I would like to tell you about Mr. Pigott. He is, just a long list of accolades. Mr. Pigott, he migrated to the US for over 44 years, but he's back with us now, and he was the chair of the African, I think it's the African Coalition.
Community centers.
Right, the African Community Center for Unity and
Self-Determination.
Right, and he was also the PRO of the International Coalition for Blacks for National Coalition. You listen, the list is so long, I can't even remember all of it.
Reparations?
Yes, for reparations. Wonderful. And upon his return to Trinidad and Tobago, he returned specifically to Tobago, where he became the president of the Tobago Writers Guild, and then he launched the lecture series, the first mic, the next chapter, and after that, he went on to co-found the Tobago Civil Net, and he is currently the advisor for the Tobago Council of Elders.
Right, and the chair of the Civil Net.
And chair of Civil Net. And we have him here with us today. He's going to be chatting with us about his book, and he has many books. He has over 4 books that he's written. And the book that we're going to be discussing today is called Damn That Habit, right? And this book is really talking about smoking, about habits, looking at how they're formed and how we deal with breaking those habits. And we're going to get into that today. But before we do that, I want us to get into this wine. When we have brunch on Book Club Corner, we always have some wine. And this wine is Bella Forma from Main Ridge Wines. We want to thank Main Ridge Wines, Stacey Herbert, for giving us this wine. And we have a wine to give away. We hope that you will take the opportunity to get one of these wines and to get some of the books. I just want to cheers with Mr. Pigott today. Thank you very much, Stacey. And we support local here at Book Club Corner. Oh, this is nice.
Excellent bouquet.
This is nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we want to get into the book. In the book that you've written, because you've written 4 books.
Yes.
And 3 of them are about spoken word poetry.
That's
and
correct.
you're a poet and an artist yourself. Yeah, and we want to get into the book because what we really want to talk about, as you've, written this book as a person who is heavily into the African culture, we see heritage happenings, from next week. And as a matter of fact, on Friday, Heritage is going to be having the Tobago Personality Show and Miss Personality Show, and they're going to be featuring recycled wear on Friday. But we want to talk to you about your perspective in terms of the African culture and African heritage. Did it color your writings as an artist, as a spoken word artist? And tell us about that.
Yes, it certainly did. It certainly did. And Jude, again, of course, thanks for having me on your show this morning. All of those things you mentioned about me, they're all volunteer work. That is one thing I want the people to understand, is that I'm a consummate volunteer. I believe that a lot of things can get done if people simply volunteer their time to do it. And so I've been volunteering for a very, very long time, especially in the African culture and so forth. And yes, that has a great bearing on what I write, how I write. It informs me. As Dr. Edwin Nichols talks about our axiology and the axiology of a people. Every people have their own axiology, their core beginning, how they began, how they inculcated into the earth, so to speak. And so that African axiology is in all of us. As Peter Tosh would say, you're not African because you're born in Africa. You're African because Africa is born in you. And no matter where you are, you're an African.
I like that.
So that's in our cells, in our very, very cells. So once one becomes involved in work that centers around their culture, then the cellular memory is going to surface.
Okay.
Right?
I like that you pointed that out, because we're going to get into that in terms of habits and looking at the dichotomy between a habit versus an addiction, right? And your perspective on that. But let me just get into the book. Because when I started to read the book, I got into the beginnings of this book, and there's this long list. I mean, there's your story, of course, and we want to get into that, but there's this long list. What struck me was this long. We're not trying to scare anybody. We're just giving information here. There was a long list of chemicals in cigarettes, and I was just blown away. So I'm just going to read some of this. This is page 18, and he's talking about that there's 7,000 toxic chemicals in cigarettes. And he got this from, World ED, right? And we're looking at like carbon monoxide, tar, arsenic, ammonia. I mean, this cleaning products, rat poison, tar, they used to make the roads. And, on my way here, I saw them doing some work by works. They were doing some road work. So they were using some of this very tar. Cyanide, acetone. Our nail techs out there know what we're talking about when we talk about acetone, butane, DDT, which is an insecticide, formaldehyde. So we just, when we look at cigarette smoking, sometimes it's a leisure activity for some persons. But, even in that leisure activity, you're looking at some very detrimental things. Tell us about that.
And yes, I know you said to the audience that you don't want to scare them. In my book, I want to scare you.
You want to scare you guys.
I want when you read that, I want you to just like, wow, is this what I'm really putting in my body?
Yeah.
And so the book is really designed to give the cigarette smoker information about what it is that they're actually putting in their body. Because you see, when tobacco usage originally, before the commercial stage, it was natural tobacco that you're growing in your backyard or wherever it's growing from, and you're picking the leaf, and you maybe match it up the way same way they do marijuana, and you're putting that in some rolling paper. You're rolling that up, and you're lighting that, and you have to keep lighting it, just as you do a cigar.
Yes.
But that was natural tobacco they were smoking, and so when commercial. When the West came in, and I think it began with sailors and people coming into these native areas where tobacco was being used, and they saw this thing and like, wow, we could make some money on this, and that's how it became commercialized. And of course, once it became commercialized, then it's now we have to grow it faster. We can't wait all year for this crop to grow. There's money to be made.
So let me ask, is tobacco, is it part of a plant that is indigenous or grows in Africa? If you know about that, could you tell us?
It grows in Africa. It grows in South America, places like Brazil, Peru, places like that. It's very, very, very prominent there. But it's not something that grew in Europe.
Right.
So they came and they encountered it in their travels.
It doesn't like the cold.
I think it began with, right. I think it began with sailors actually that encountered it in their travels. And that's pretty much how it took off from there.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting history lesson about tobacco and how it came to become so popularized for us as a community, as a society. What I want to ask, I'm curious about self-published authors. who do their own work, you know, their cover, they do all the editing and stuff. What difficulties, if any, did you experience as you were publishing your book?
The very first time I published a book was actually a version of this book that I published for the very, very first time. And that one was very costly because I went the vanity publishing route. Ex Libris, I believe, what was the name of the company. And they made it seem like, okay, you know, you sign on with us and it's like, you know, you're going to be a published author and all of these sort of things, you know, but it was a very expensive venture because it was considered like sort of like a vanity publishing in itself where I didn't do any of the work really.
Right.
You know, I just sent the manuscript to them and they did everything and everything costed, you know. And so, and they also captured the ISBN from where I got the ISBN from. I made a mistake, and instead of purchasing it myself from, I forgot the name of where it actually comes from. I went through a reseller and to get a discount because, you know, it costs this much over here.
Yeah.
But over here it's costing like 50%, you know, less. And you're getting this much for it. And I didn't know anything about that. But when I purchased from the reseller actually became the publisher of my book. I was the author. I retained author's right. But the reseller, since it was their ISBN,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, they actually captured it.
Yeah, so authors, we're hearing some very valuable information here today. I want you to pay attention to what's happening. I want you to pay attention to when you publish a book, those who are going the self-publishing route, please remember to do your homework. Or you can alternatively call the Tobago Writers Guild Publishing House. We have ISBN numbers. We will not take the rights away from your book. But this is important information for authors to be aware of and to be careful of, to be mindful of when you get into that self-publishing space. Yeah? But before we go any further, you know, I want you to tell me about your story. Most writers and authors write from a place of personal, if not personal pain, personal experience. And I want you to just tell, you know, our viewers about why you wrote this book. I mean, you know, Damn This Habit. And we want to get into the title as well because, you know, when I first saw it, I said like they cut off the cover. It missing a letter, but then I was like, that sounds like a play on words. Damn that habit. Like a dam.
Exactly, like
so,
a dam.
Yeah, so tell us about your story, where your motivation for writing, as well as this title.
Well, it was really to help others because I myself smoked cigarettes at one point. And I began smoking cigarettes the way most people that smoke cigarettes begin smoking cigarettes as a youth. And you begin smoking this toxic object that if you remember and remind yourself and go back to your beginning, you couldn't see yourself doing it because you would smell the smoke and it smelled awful. You would choke on it. You smelled the breath of other people who smoke cigarettes and it smelled awful. So you really never saw yourself doing that. So for you to now say, let me try this, something had to sort of influence you and push your will in that direction. And for young people, the heaviest thing that influences them to begin smoking cigarette is peer pressure. The group that they're with, the peer group that they're with, they're smoking cigarettes.
Is there a legal age for smoking, for buying cigarettes, smoking?
Well, there's a legal age for buying cigarettes. I believe it's 18 or 21, one of those ages.
That's for buying, but if they were to, you know, we don't want to get into the legalities of it, but just, you know, just curious, if you were to smoke, would you get in trouble for that?
You would. I mean, I don't know that you would get into like a legal trouble, like you get taken away to jail or anything of that nature.
Yes.
But it would be the same as if someone saw you drinking alcohol and
Yes.
you were noticeably underage.
Yes,
then
I
it'd be
just
like,
I made sure I wanted to bring that up because I want you all to know when we are talking about brunch and having a nice, adult drink. Remember, we are not talking to our underage population, right? Children out there, kids out there. If you see us having, just remember, tell your parents that you heard about something they may be interested in. It's called Bella Forma. It's a wine from Mainridge Wines, and it's a local wine, but it's not for you. Okay, this is an adult drink, right?
An adult drink,
Adult choices happening here.
Yeah. So back to the story, of course. So that's where my story began, right? Smoking at that age and so forth. And of course, when the first cigarette I smoked, I mean, I just literally choked, almost passed out. I literally almost fainted. My head just felt light. You feel the cold chills going through your veins. I didn't know what that was. So I experienced all of those bad effects. It's not like drinking where you drink for the very first time and though it may burn your throat, you're left with a nice little head. You feel a little like, whoa. I want to do that again. That feels good,
Smoking was the opposite.
Right. Totally opposite.
Yeah.
So there was no influence from the cigarettes itself to say, I want to try you again. Right. So the same influence that I didn't want to try you in the first place because I thought you were awful, but because the people I'm hanging around is doing it, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to try it again because of the people I'm hanging around. I'm looking at them smoking and they're like pulling and inhaling and blowing out like whoa. I'm like, how are you doing that?
So let's jump ahead. You smoked. You're now comfortable with it. You're buying your own cigarettes. You're happy and you're enjoying your smoking experience. And you're now wondering, how am I getting off of this boat? I jumped on this train. I want to get off. I don't want to smoke anymore. Tell me about how you came to that, to that part in your life, that that juncture in your life, and what made you decide to stop, 1 and 2. Let's get into what you have here about the habits, breaking that habit, damning that habit.
Absolutely. And to be real, many people that smoke cigarettes want to stop smoking cigarettes, right? Many people, right? And there's a part of my book there where I point out that they had that statistics, that so many people, they really want to get rid of this cigarette smoking habit, but their will is weak. And I tried. Me and my comrades, we tried. We would do it together. Okay, this is it. New Year's Eve. We make our resolution. That's it. And I think the longest we went was like a good 8 months. No cigarettes for 8 months. And then boom, all of a sudden, we're back at it, right? And then, of course, I stumbled upon this method because I really wanted to get rid of this thing, right? Something about having my will co-opted. Like, I really don't want to do you, but I feel like I have to do you. That made me feel a little weak. And so I wanted to get rid of it because I didn't want to feel as if I had to do something that I really didn't want to do. And I tried getting rid of you. I can't get rid of you. It cannot be that I cannot get rid of you. You understand? So I think with that kind of querying, I stumbled upon the method now, a psychological method of literally reversing the habit, because I recognized that quitting was very easy. You quit every time you go to bed. You quit. I don't care how many cigarettes you smoke during the day. And I met many people chain smoke throughout the day. Every 30 minutes, they light up. People that buy cigarettes buy 2 cartons.
I want you to give us one of the psychological steps, one of the steps, because we're out of time soon. Give the viewing public one step, because let me just tell you, get this book. If you or a loved one is a smoker, if you're a smoker and you need to get rid of that habit, damn that habit, get this book by Rodney Pigott. Your friends, your family, if you are affected by secondhand smoke and you don't want to be affected by it anymore, well, we know we have laws to deal with public smoking, but get this book. It's by Rodney Piggott. You can get it on Amazon. Call him directly to get it. And his number is on the Book Club Corner page. But give us
Right.
one.
Very good. All right. So smoking the cigarette is the major habit.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to smoke the cigarette, you have to have the cigarette.
Right.
So you have the cigarette by two ways, buying it or bumming it. The most major way that people get their cigarettes, if they're really smoking cigarettes, is by buying it. So the first habit, minor habit I go after, or situational habit I go after, is actually buying the cigarettes. So I show you in the book how to go about. You buy the cigarettes, you take out a ration, you put yourself on a ration, there's steps in there, but you take out a ration that you've given yourself. This is how many cigarettes I am going to smoke throughout the day. If I normally smoke 10 cigarettes a day, I'm not going to make my ration maybe 6 or 7 a day. I'm going to take out those 6 or 7 cigarettes as my ration, and I'm literally going to take the rest of the cigarettes and mash them up, flush them, make them irretrievable. So what you're doing to your mind, what you're presenting to your mind now, is the literal form of you're wasting your money when you buy cigarettes. So your money is going up in smoke when you buy cigarettes. So now you're literally confronting your mind with that absolute reality that whenever I buy a pack of cigarette, I'm going to literally throw my money away and flush my money away.
Yeah.
And you do that for as long as it takes for your mind to come to that junction and go, look, we're not rich. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep spending money like this. So, and your mind always wants you to be comfortable. That's one of the duties of your mind, for you to be comfortable. So I am going to, in order for you to stop wasting your money, I am now going to, as your mind, withdraw the urge for you to buy the cigarettes.
Okay.
And that's where the dam comes in.
I really like this, and I'm telling you guys, if you have a habit you need to get rid of, I think this is one of those things that you can apply to different habits in your life, right? We can look at using it. But we want to wrap up this morning, Book Club Corner, and today, July 12th, it's Caribbean Literature Day, and we want to make sure that we support local authors. We give them the opportunity to read their material, to hear their voice, see what they're interested in and what they're saying to us. So I want you to go celebrate Caribbean Literature Day by reading, going to your library, borrowing a local book from the library from a Caribbean writer, and make sure you get this book, Damn That Habit. It's by Rodney Piggott, and Mr. Rodney Piggott is also a spoken word artist. He was at the forefront of the 1990s poetry renaissance in America, and he wrote 3 other spoken word books. Get those books. They're on Amazon. One of them is called Endangered Speeches, The Next Test Man.
Next Test of Men.
Next Test of Men. They're good. If you just Google him, you know, he's Googleable, as they say. Look up Rodney Piggott and get his books. We want to thank you for viewing. We want to thank you for tuning in with us today. And we want to thank Stacy, Mainridge Wines, for giving us Bella Forma today as we brunch. Cheers to you. Take care of yourself, and let's celebrate Caribbean Literature Day. Support your local authors. Cheers to you.
Cheers, Joe.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable. Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth. Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
If you see or know about a crime, report a crime safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero. Champion. Fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime.
Thank you so much. You guys are back. Wonderful. I did not want you to miss out on this segment. Now, this is our grassroots segment, and we are talking to a very special lady. Now, this young lady is said to be a blend of talent, of beauty, of poise, of wisdom. She is a boss in my book in terms of gynecology and obstetrics, and she hails from the beautiful fishing village of Plymouth, where I went to school. I'm just going to mention that. A pleasant good morning to Plymouth on the inside. Today we have Dr. Mariel Armstrong, and she is going to be sitting with us, giving us some of her time, sharing some memories, sharing some of her journey in medicine with us. Dr. Mariel, good day to you. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm in England currently. Good afternoon to you, and I'm very happy to be here on Tobago Updates with you.
Thank you so much. And welcome. Let me officially welcome you to the Brunch Mid-Morning Show. Now, it's really, really inspiring to speak with you today. So we're going to just go just a step back. Tell us about your journey, your educational journey, and then we go to what happened after that. So let's start there.
Oh, well, like you said, I'm from Plymouth, so I went to Plymouth Allicant School, where my mom, Marva Armstrong, taught there as well. And after Plymouth Allicant School, I then went to Signal Hill Secondary, which I'm very proud um, to be taught there by lovely teachers. And then I then went to Mona, University of the West Indies, Jamaica, where I studied medicine there. So along my journey in medical school, I had two traumatic things that occurred where my grandmother died while I was in the second year of medical school, and then my father passed away while I was in my fourth year. And he passed away while I was actually doing my rotation in in gynecology, and I had exams. So I had to leave Jamaica and then return to Tobago for the funeral and then return to Jamaica and then sit my exams. Luckily, God was with me and I ended up getting an A minus for my exam, which was shocking because I was going through a very, very terrible time. But God is definitely good. And then after Jamaica, I then returned to Tobago and I was an intern at Scarborough General Hospital. And then the first rotation and only rotation being a house officer was in obstetrics and gynecology. And I'm very thankful that it happened that way because normally doctors normally rotate to medicine and then to anesthesiology or emergency med. But because of short staff, I was placed in obstetrics and gynecology. So I was happy that I was then there because I always was very passionate about women's health after being in Jamaica and seeing all the unsafe practices and misconceptions of women's health. Then I met my mentor, Dr. Wheeler, who helped molded me and gave me the vision. And he taught me a lot in terms of surgery, in terms of clinical skills. And then I was able to do some of my exams in Tobago. And then I came to England in December 2019.
And it's so amazing that you mentioned the year 2019 because I would have met you at the hospital, the Scarborough Hospital. I was sitting and I was waiting to be prepped, and you walked by, and it was like you got prepped already, in your usual fashion. And I was like, no, I'm still waiting, and then you took me to the room, and there was this gentle demeanor. And then I walked away from that, and I'm saying, you have to love what you do. And I definitely felt the love coming from you, emanating from you. Anna, this morning I was talking about the human aspect and the things that we miss with just typing onto social media or just putting in sentences and phrases. We miss the human aspect, talking with each other, communing, showing love,
That's so true.
appreciation, and that sort of thing. And this is what I remember from you. It was a brief moment, but I would always take that with me. So with your journey at Leeds, tell us a bit about your experiences there. Now, the first thing that I ask is about the social differences between the larger countries and, of course, our little dot here in Tobago. Socially, what did you experience at Leeds?
Well, to begin with, Leeds wasn't the first place that I actually started to work when I came to the UK. It was another hospital. And funny enough, the name of that hospital is Scarborough General Hospital. So I then moved from Scarborough to
Wow.
Scarborough. So that's a bit of joke. But one of the first things that I can say in comparison, I received a very warm and compassionate feeling from them. And in return, I actually gave them my whole Caribbean love and Caribbean in terms of chatting and stuff like that. So I was welcomed and I felt at home, to be quite honest. And then after completing my MRCOG, which is a member of Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, I then started at Leeds in November 2022 last year. And Leeds is a tertiary center for women's health. So a tertiary center meaning that we see a lot of sick women with medical conditions who are pregnant. So you would see women with cardiac disease or heart disease in pregnancy. Like last 2 months, I had a patient who had 4 open heart surgeries, and then she was pregnant against medical advice. And at 33 weeks, we had to do a cesarean section to safely deliver baby. And then after that cesarean section, we then had to accompany her to the cardiac care unit so she will receive good care. So in terms of being at Leeds, I think that it's good exposure. I am being exposed to all aspects of gynecology and also obstetrics. So in gynecology, I am involved in urogynecology surgeries, and urogynecology meaning like vaginal surgeries, surgeries of the pelvis, and then being more involved in keyhole surgeries. So I'm seeing women with uterine fibroids, and you know that Trinidad and Tobago has a large population of women with uterine fibroids as well. And also on the obstetric side, which is the pregnancy side, you will see ladies who are suffering with high blood pressure in pregnancy, diabetes in pregnancy, and other medical conditions in pregnancy as well. One thing I could say about, go ahead.
No, I was just going to punch in there. There's a question that keeps coming up. We actually just heard it a while ago before chatting with you. Obstetrics and gynecology, what are the differences between the two terms? So I was just going to pinch that in there as you were speaking previously. Right. So
in terms of obstetrics, it deals with mainly pregnant women. So pregnant women, so as soon as a lady finds out that she's pregnant, she will be seen by the midwife, and then she will also be seen by the doctor and she will also be seen by the doctor who works along with pregnant ladies, and that is called the obstetrician. In terms of gynecology, it means non-pregnant female, so therefore ladies who are suffering with uterine fibroids, conditions of the ovaries, conditions of other organs in the pelvis as well, like the fallopian tubes.
All right. So I hope you guys are looking on and that answers the questions a little bit clearer, because it seemed to be a question that kept popping up. Now, in terms of your journey, Dr. Armstrong. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, I would have known Dr. Armstrong for a very, very long time. It spans decades. That is to tell you how long. Her mom taught me at school, and her dad was very instrumental in my career in terms of calypso and mass and carnival and pan and all those things. So I know her from a very long time ago. But the love that she has for this profession is something that she always had. She was always playing doctor, those kinds of games. You remember those games, Dr. Maria? Playing doctor,
yes.
And, things like that. So this is something that brings me back to the point that you have to love what you do. In terms of, you just spoke about your fibroids awareness. You were attached to the fibroids awareness of Trinidad and Tobago. What are you still?
Yes. So I am still attached, and the founder is Mrs. Coris Archer-Nances, and I have known Coris for a very long time, and because Coris knew that I'm very passionate about women's health. So while I was in Tobago, she had approached me and asked me if I'll come along to the schools with her. And that's how I got involved. And I really enjoyed speaking with the young teenagers, as well as the primary school girls, explaining the menstrual cycle, about proper hygiene, and also about discharges that they should be aware of, and also about sexually transmitted illnesses. So I did a lot of talks in the primary school and as well as secondary schools before I left to come to England. And also during the COVID pandemic, so from 2020 to 2021, I was doing a lot of online sessions with Coris as well for the fibroid awareness group.
All right, that is so wonderful. Guys, remind me, we would have to have Mrs. Nances on as well to speak on women's health. It's actually something in the making. So it's so ironic that you're mentioning Coris at this point in time, because that is one person that we need to be speaking to with women's health. But Dr. Armstrong, tell me, women's health. All right, it's vast. It's such a vast topic, and the importance of it, by knowing what women's health, what contributes to women's health. What are some of the things that you found in your journey, that basic things that you found that young women were not aware of or were not taught?
I will first start that prevention is better than cure. So a lot of women in Tobago, I should say, they were not aware of that they should be doing their smear test, their pap smear test, and this can prevent or actually reduce the risk of cervical cancer. So I'll say that's one thing that women were not aware of. They weren't aware of that the smear test actually helps to test for HPV, which is the human papilloma virus. That is one of the main causes of cervical cancer. The other thing is that when I did like certain talks, like some women thought that having painful menses or painful periods were very normal, but it's not normal. So that's when you really have to seek help from a gynecologist and find out what is the reason or what is the cause of why you have severe pains. Could it be because you have uterine fibroids? Could it be that you have another condition such as endometriosis? Could it be that you have another tumor in your pelvis? So it's just that all girls, or like most girls, were taught that once you see your period, you must have pain, and that is not a fact. So that's one thing I learned on my journey, as well as that about vaginal discharges. Some women think that maybe a green or itchy discharge can be normal, and which is not, and therefore they should be testing for some sexually transmitted illnesses.
Definitely. And thank you so much for touching on that. As usual, so many things to talk about, not enough time. We need to have you back. But before we wrap, any messages, any thoughts, anything you would like to say to our viewers to inspire them, words of encouragement?
I would like to say that in life that you'll always have obstacles that will come your way, but always believe in God and push your way through. Always work hard and be disciplined. Always have that vision and that goal in mind, and always be kind and humble, because trust me, it pays to be humble and kind. Because I think that if I wasn't that way, I wouldn't have reached far in my career, because I had persons higher up in the specialty, like they were very willing to teach me. I was very teachable and I listened. I would take advice. If I did something wrong, I wouldn't frown. I wouldn't give attitude. So having a very positive attitude actually helps you to achieve your goals. And I'd also like to say thank you to Signal Hill Secondary School teachers. Like, they are amazing. I'd like to say special thanks to Miss Amin Bacchus, as well as Miss Carut and Mr. King, and also Miss Potts, who has retired now. I would also like to say thank you to my mother. She's actually here with me in England. So she has always been very, 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 very supportive. And also thanks to Dr. Wheeler, because he really saw something in me and was like, you need to go to England, you need to specialize, you need to be well-rounded in this field. So that's it.
Guys, Dr. Mariel Armstrong, the message: be humble, be kind. It takes you far. Be willing to learn and be willing to evolve. Thank you so much, Doc, for joining us on Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Before we wrap, our trivia question: in which village in Tobago did the Belmana riot occur? Now, we were so lucky to have a correct. Someone got it. Someone got it right. The answer is Roxborough, the village of Roxborough. And our winner today is Chris Saul. Chris Saul is our winner today. So our team is going to reach out to you and give you all the specifics as to what you should do from this day forward. But thank you so much for typing. Thank you so much for letting your fingers work. And that's it for brunch today. Thank you for joining us. Have a blessed day. Be safe. And remember, in case no one told you today, you are special. See you on Friday. Have a good one.